All right, welcome back. This is the next video in the series of the basics of flying in the Icon. And I have gone through the startup procedures in the last video, and I've taxied all the way to the runway that I'm supposed to take off. Now I stopped just short of where I'm supposed to stop because I want to show you that when I do get to the stopping point and stop, I will then request to take off and they will tell me yay or nay. Come to stop.
Washington Tower Bandit, Bravo
and you can see they are now making a request because I have it set to auto. Again, you would manually do that yourself if you choose. And they're telling me to hold because, as you can see, we have a plane landing. Isn't that cool? That was a generic plane, so as soon as it landed, it disappeared. But now I can take off. So let's get out here and let's talk about a few things before we do so.
Cleared for takeoff runway 19er Bandit Bravo, Alpha November 1.
Well, I can see the Washington Monument in the background. So the good news is I downloaded a free scenery update because Washington was really poor, to be honest with you. And I can see that it works because that was not there before. Alrighty, so we're stopped, we're ready to take off. We'll go out to this outside view real quick for one reason. If you're going to take off, first thing you want to make sure you do is that you have your flaps in a position for taking off. So on this one, I'm going to put my flaps down to the middle, and you'll see that they go down here. That will help me take off. Now, once I take off, I will set my flaps back up. We use the flaps for taking off. We use them for slowing down for landing, or if you have to slow down for any sudden reason. But the process is going to be pretty simple here. We've already got everything running. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the brake, I'm going to goose it up a little bit, then I'm going to take off. I will actually feel this plane start pulling up in the air. You don't even have to pull back. Once it gets going fast enough, it will take off. It'll go up on its own. Now what I do have to do is fight the left and right that happens as it speeds up. So you'll see me fighting the left or right. I hear another plane. Okay, so here we go. And I am moving. See, there's the plane above me. That's a Southwest. I can tell because it's SWA.
124.7 Southwest 8.
Turn that VFR off for now. You can see it's trying to pull to the right a little bit, so I'm just turning my yoke slightly to the left. Now, it's already going, see, it's pulling up. I'm not even doing that. It's doing it on its own. Now, I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out real quick. First thing I want to do is I'm going to tell it to put my landing gear up because this has landing gear that will go in or out. Now a lot of planes will have landing gear that just stays down. In that case you don't do anything. Next thing I want to do is I want to put my flaps up. Now when you do, it'll drop a little bit, so I'm going to pull back. And now we are flying. Now in this one you can see over here on the left my airspeed and my engine, and notice the engine is kind of in the red. I don't want it to stay there long, so I'm actually going to back this sucker down some. I believe on this it likes for you to fly, once you get stabilized, actually around 30%, to be honest with you. But I'm still taking off. And over on the airspeed, you can see there's a white line, and then it's just green, and then the yellow. You don't want to be in the yellow, okay? All right, now, looking at my monitor to the right, now that I'm inside, you can see my path. If I pull up my VFR, for some reason, let me go back to GPS tracking. It's the same thing really we're seeing here. And this is, as I zoom out, this is telling me where I'm wanting to go. So all I need to do is make my way that way. So I'm going to slightly turn. Don't want to turn too sharp. And I'm going to make my way home. Now, I'm flying, right? Except watch what happens when I let go of my stick. If you look over on the right, look, my altitude's going down. It'll then come back up a little bit. When you're flying, ultimately, you want to get to where your plane is kind of maintaining a certain altitude, right? Now, if you see it's going down, it's going up. I'm at 13. Now it's starting to drop back down a little bit. Here we go down again. So it went all up to 14. Now this will kind of level out, and it'll level out, but it'll level out either going up or down. I need to slow it down some here. My airspeed way too high in this plane. So to do that, what we're going to do is adjust our trim, and you see the trim right here. Okay, the trim basically is what we have to play around with to get it to fly level. Okay, so I'm at 13,000 feet right now, somewhere around there, and I want this to kind of level out a little bit. So I'm gonna kick, like I said, kick this engine back. I've got it at 25% right now, and depending on what you have for your trim, I've got mine mapped to the keys. I can see that this plane is going slowly down, so I'm going to do my trim up a little bit. It changed to point 1, and let's see, did that level me out a little bit? This is something that you'll just have to play around with. This V speed, or I think it's the wind speed. At 0, you're basically flying straight. You're not going up or down. If it's going down, if the arrow's pointing down, then you're drifting downward. If it's pointing up, you're going up. So I'm going to give it a little more trim upwards. Let's see if I can get this flattened out. I need a little more. And by the way, it's still saying 0.1, but it's moving in very small increments, and you're not seeing it. Sometimes you might want to make big changes and then small changes. Big changes to really, truly impact the way you're going, and then you'll make small ones just to get it tweaked out. Okay, but I'm pretty close to 0. Not perfect. And also, you'll play around with your throttle as well to get it there. Still need some more. Okay. But that's the basics of kind of getting flying straight. Okay, so now we're flying, we're doing good. That'll be the end of this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you an attempt to land.